Okay. Good evening, guys. It is Thursday, the 20th of September. I can't believe it's 2 weeks today since we was in New Orleans. I cannot believe how it's frightening how quickly time goes. And I already miss Anthony Raspin like that much already. So it's crazy times. But Thursday nights is our team training call, and tonight we've got a legend on, an absolute legend on tonight. Now, some of you probably don't have never heard the name, and some of you have probably never heard us. Well, most of you, I guess, have never heard her story. So I'm going to introduce this lady, and to be honest, I'd never heard of this lady before until I started seeing in the group, congratulations, Karen Daniel. Congratulations, Karen Daniel. Congratulations, Karen Daniel. It was just like, new customer, new customer, new customer. And she got recognised, I think was it Vegas the first time you got recognised as a customer crusher. So she got recognised in Vegas and then again in New Orleans. But here's the story, right? And here is network marketing summed up to a T. Karen was in a position where her team around her were collapsing, and she didn't know what she was doing, and she felt that she was on her own, and she felt quite lost. And she connected with Nina, and she had a conversation with Nina, and she re-identified what her why was, and then she just literally went on a mission, and as I said, got in customer after customer after customer after customer after customer after customer after customer. So I'm really looking forward to listening to Karen's story tonight, and how she kind of went from being on the verge of giving up on herself to then being recognised as a household name of indirect sellers, because like it or not, that is what you are. You are a household name of indirect sellers. And I met Karen and spoke to Karen in New Orleans, and we had a great conversation. It was great to meet her and speak to her. But I'm really looking forward to this. So I am going to... Karen, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. The floor is yours.
Well, good evening. And first and foremost, thank you for inviting me to your call. When you asked me this, I was looking at my notes. You asked me August the 16th. And when you said the 20th, I thought you meant the 20th of August. And that's why I jumped on the call. You had Nina that day. I'm thinking, ooh, I've got something wrong. So you're right. One thing I need to correct you. I wasn't in Vegas. I got recognized in New York. And so I started network marketing in July of 2016. I was with another company, and the company was great, still doing great, but the team I was on, I was the only one in Kentucky at that time. So I really didn't have the help. So I kind of backed out of that, and then I started seeing Nina on Facebook doing this, doing that, and I'm thinking, who is this lady? So I just started following her. So I met a friend in Houston, because in my previous company, I was with that group out of Houston. So I hooked up with this young lady, and she said, let's do it. Let's do the wine. I said, okay, let's do it. So I jumped in, paid my $499.95. And after about a month, she got out. She said, I can't do it. I can't. So when I told her, I said, look, $500, I'm not wasting $500. I'm going to stick it out. I joined January 2017. Really wasn't doing anything. Picked up 2 business partners immediately, but then they backed out. Said, okay, I'm not going to do it. And then I just stopped really working my business. But I kept plugging into the calls. I could probably recite those evening calls, by heart. I could just recite everything they would say. So, I thought, I've got to do this. I've got to make my whys bigger than their nose. So I just jumped into it, and I put 60 customers in the system in like 48 days. And the thing that turned it around, I assumed that people would not buy from me. That's what I did. I just assumed they wouldn't. Now, at that time I was 62 years old. I lost my husband in November of 2009. I have 2 kids. Today they're 40 and 37. I'm not a grandmother. But I supported everyone in my church, everyone at work. And I don't know if you heard me say it, I have bought Girl Scout cookies, popcorn from the Boy Scouts. I bought that recycled wrapping paper from PTA, Parent Teachers Association. That's what we call it here in the States. I supported everyone. And so I went and I made my list. I had a list on my cell phone. I had a list on my iPad, and I had a manual list that I kept in my purse. And then I had one on my desktop, and I just kept going through the list. And I said, this person will buy. No, she won't. So then I went to church one day, and I just said, hey, come here for a minute. I need to talk to you. And they said, okay, what do you have? I said, I'm in a wine business. I need you to support me. Now, I don't know if you like wine or not. That's okay. I don't care if you do, but I need you to support me. And they said, okay. Because you remember, they join you. They don't join your company. So I've been a member of my church for 40 years. I'm director of music at my church. So I just started grabbing people that I used to work with, people in the gym. And that's how I got my customers. And excuse me, then I started getting business partners, and they started coming in. So then we had so I went to New York. So how I got to New York, this lady that sings in my choir, she works for an airline. She said, that's wonderful. Your airline ticket is on me. I said, really? Okay. Somebody else, your hotel, I got you, because we're proud of you. You're doing something. Now, look, Kentucky is a bourbon state, number one. Kentucky is known for fast horses, fine women, and good bourbon. I've had the bourbon. I've been to Churchill Downs. That's what I can attest to. But and then I got a lot of people saying, hey, if you were selling bourbon, I'd be your customer. Well, I'm not bourbon, it's wine. But then I started running into a lot of people that said, I like wine. Yeah, what do you have? And that is my story. You cannot give up. You cannot assume that people will not buy from you. Just don't make that list. And every time that I go through a list, I keep my list. Okay, they bought from me last time. And then this last contest that we in, the July cash grab, I went back to some of my old people, and they said, yes, we'll do it. We'll help you. But just never give up. For those who are new into this, I encourage you to plug into the system. I understand you do these calls every Thursday, or do you do a live every day? They need to plug into you to listen to what you're saying, because they will hear something from you. You're a great leader. And so who's ever on here, if you know Paul, plug into him. Do what he's doing. You're a master seller. And it's important to plug into the meetings. It's from you, our president, Kevin Ralston, then it was Austin, then it was Nina. You know, you've got to stay plugged in, because they are dropping valuable nuggets every time they talk. So,
Karen, I've got a few questions for you, and then I'm going to open it up, and hopefully you're going to get interrogated tonight by questions, because what you just said then is extremely powerful. So the first bit, you said you got 60 customers in 48 days. How many customers have you got in total since you've been involved with direct sellers now?
Oh gosh, probably, hold on, 60, probably 130.
And how many do you need to get wine for free?
You need to get 3.
130 customers, people. 130 customers. Absolutely fantastic. How many brand partners have you got in since you've joined?
I've had 4.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that's a real story. Like, that is a real story of someone that is involved in a real company, that's a real person enjoying the jourey.
And I'm in a no-ship state.
Oh, you just ruined my next question. Is it right that you don't drink wine, or do you drink?
No. Right
so,
now in my den, I think I have probably over 100 bottles of wine.
Right. So here's the next bit, and we'll forget that Karen's just told me that, right? So Karen's brought in over about 130 customers. Story, close your mouth. You like that? So you brought in over 130 customers you don't drink wine, and I got confirmation from Trillock tonight that so far these are. Where's my notes gone? Have I deleted it? Right. So the no ship states. Now let's see who was listening. So the no ship states at the moment are Arkansas, Delaware, Rhode Island, Kentucky, Mississippi, Utah, and Oklahoma, where Oklahoma will be opening soon. Karen lives in Kentucky, so right now we've got a lady that doesn't drink wine, crazy woman, lives in Kentucky, which is a no shipping state, but yet has managed to bring in 130 customers since being involved in the business, and her upline quit. So, this is a real kind of take home for me tonight as well, like massively, and I don't want you thinking, well, yeah, this is a big take home for me. I need to start. This is a real take home for me tonight because, and this is no disrespect to Karen whatsoever, but if someone that doesn't drink wine, that is involved in a wine business, that lives in a non-shipping wine state, where we live in a country that drinks wine quite frequently, and we struggle to kind of speak to people, then we seriously need to go and kind of like stand ourselves in the corner and have like a hard like word with ourselves. That's blown me away, to be honest. And I knew that you brought in a lot of customers, and I knew that you didn't drink wine, and I knew that you was in a non-shipping state, but I didn't realise like how many customers you brought in. That's phenomenal. That is absolutely incredible. So congratulations to you on that one.
Thank you.
Right, I'm going to open the floor up and for questions. And there's always a guy that likes to ask the first question. So he looks a little bit like Brad Pitt, but at the weekends he looks a lot more like George Clooney. Now he's been Milkman of the Year for the last 76 years, but he's only 44 years of age. So don't ask me how that one works. But Anthony, are you there?
Yeah, I am here. Yeah.
Have you got a question for Karen?
Well, I did, but I'm not going to ask it now. So, Karen, how are you doing? You okay? Yeah, I'm good, thank you. First of all, can I just say you absolutely look incredible. You really, really do. Absolutely. So, yeah, my pleasure. So, obviously, you when you did your lists and things like that, you must have got a lot. Did you take that sort of personally, or did you just think next? How did you react when a lot of people says no, thank you, not for me?
I just crossed them off and went to the next person. I worked at my previous job for 18 years. So I had a list for work for the job that was on. I had a church list and I had a friend list. And at that time I was in the gym like 5 days a week, 6 days a week. Of course, most gym people are not going to drink wine. They're on that H2O every day. They don't even drink juice. It's just water. So none of them supported me. No, one person, I take that back. So I had a work list, I had a church list, and I had a friend list, and I had a family list. And believe it or not, my in-laws supported me more than my blood family. There was only one person. My brother supported me. That's the only person that supported me that's directly related to me. But my in-laws supported me more than anyone. So then I had a family list. So that's what I went through. I had 4 categories: family, church, work, and friends. And I have a large family.
Wow. So once they did say no, it was like, at the beginning it's sort of like, why not? But you just kept on going until you got the yeses.
I did. Now, at first, I will be honest with you, I did take it personally. And I kept hearing Nina say, you cannot take it personal. Because my thing was, I supported you. Now I need you to help me. But then after that, because, every time someone says no, you're going to get a yes. So I just said, okay, thank you. See you next time. And some of them have come back around and have supported me.
Cool. So the moral of the story is just keep going, don't get emotionally attached, and just keep asking that question.
Exactly. You cannot stop. You can't stop. And I've been doing it since January the 17th. And now I'm having fun.
Yeah.
I'm meeting people like you guys, you know, people from around the world. It's fantastic.
Oh, it's amazing, Karen. It's just great to hear your story. And I've been, like I said, I've been watching your story as well since the beginning as well. And it's amazing. So hats off to you. You inspire me, certainly. So I'll take that on note. Just keep asking the question. Don't get emotionally attached, and just keep asking every time. Keep asking, because they will come back to you eventually.
That's right. They will.
Thank you so much.
Who has got...
Brilliant. Stoya.
Okay, Stitch, you're up. What's your question, mate?
Mrs. Daniels, I'm just going to say it was such an honour to meet you and spend time with you in New Orleans.
Likewise.
So my question is, what did you do with all your wine?
It's sitting in my den. I was telling my daughter, I said, I need to get a wine rack. It's just in my den.
I think
and I have gifted it out.
Kentucky.
You know, the lady that cuts my hair, there's several stylists in there. So I'm supposed to take wine to the hair salon tomorrow to gift out. But I do give it away. You know, I have to, where I go to get my wine, there's a young gentleman that waits on me. And I've given him probably 6 bottles of wine. Because
if it's free wine, it's okay. But, you know, you might gift the bottles nicely, put them in nice little packages with your business card and hand them out. And people talk. It's word of mouth.
That's true. That's true. We had I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Tuskegee Airmen. Do you know anything about that? Okay. Well, they've had formals here, and I have done a raffle. I've done a basket with chocolate, popcorn, and bottles of wine in that. And I think I picked up a customer or 2 from that. Yes, but I give wine away. I do. And where I live now, we're going to start having wine tastings. A lot, maybe once a month. The gentleman told me just yesterday.
Karen, I've got another question for you. Obviously, like being in Kentucky, which is a non-shipping state, how far do you have to drive to get your wine?
It's a 60-mile round trip, 30 miles one way.
Again, you know, what are our excuses? We get home from work, or we get up in the morning, or we come back from the gym or whatever, and our box is literally plonked outside our front door. You know, I tell you, I'm blown away by your story tonight. I really am.
And then I have to pay to get that wine because I pay $6 per box to get the wine from the UPS store. I don't ask my customers to do that, because if you're nice enough to be my customer, I'm not going to ask you to pay $6. So can you imagine me paying $6 and that's per box?
Mm-hmm.
My advice would be to get as many customers on board that don't actually live in Kentucky.
Right, exactly.
Right.
I'm working on that.
Jerry.
Hi. Well, your story is amazing, Karen. I live in Georgia, so we have a similar problem with delivery of our wine. We can only have so many boxes per year delivered. So we have we're having our wine at the moment shipped to our UPS store, and we go and pick it up. And they charge between $5 and $10 per box. However, we get our wine for free. So at the end of the day, you know, what does it matter, $5 or $10? Because we get 6 bottles of wine for free, and all we're paying is shipping. So that, you know, you can't really complain at that, really, can you? But the question I wanted to ask you was, obviously, a lot of your customers would be in Kentucky, is that right?
Correct.
So how do they get their wine for free? How many customers have you got that actually get their wine for free? And do they do the same thing as you then, go and pick it up?
And now I pick up their customers as well. I have maybe 2 customers out of the state of Kentucky. I do. And their wine is delivered to their door.
But the rest of your customers are all in Kentucky?
They're all in Kentucky.
Oh
Right.
my gosh.
They're all in Kentucky.
That's incredible. So how many times are you going to pick up the wine then if you've got all those?
Fortunately, they all order around the same time. I'm probably at the UPS store twice a month, which is not bad. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
And the guys will call me and say, hey, you got wine here. Right now, I have 10 boxes to go get tomorrow.
I was going to say, do you have a truck?
I do not.
Well, thank you, because you're very inspiring. I mean, I think that
thank you.
One of the things for me, and I don't know why it happens, is picking up the phone sometimes to ring people. You just have to get over that, kind of like get over yourself a bit, really. But and I think that's because you're anticipating they say no, but at the end of the day, if they say no, they say no. Like you say, just move on.
But let me say this. I have a relationship with all of my customers. I do. Some of these people I've known for 20 and 30 years. And if you know me, you know, my friends say I'm very direct. You'll never have to guess where I'm coming from. And one night I just said, hey, I need to talk to you right now. And they said, well, what is it? What did I do? No, you haven't done anything. I just need you to support me. And I said, okay. And a lot of my customers, sometimes when I call them on the phone, they say, what do I have to do? I said, no, let me do it for you. Get your wallet out, get your credit card, and I'm going to do it while you're here. And they will hear me typing their numbers in because they know I'm not saving their information. So a lot of my customers, I did that. If they were standing next to me, they saw me do it. Or if it was over the phone, I said, this is all I need. So when they say, I'll get back to you, try to say, no, let me do it now for you. Then I don't have to call you back. And I do it on the spot. Majority of my customers were like that.
I think that's a great point. I think that we've missed a few people by actually telling them kind of how to do it. Mm-hmm. But the people that we have joined have been in front of us. We've put them on. We've got on the laptop and we've put their information in straight away.
Right.
And that is a good point.
Right. I think if you can get them right then and there, that's your best thing to do.
Thank you, Karen.
You're welcome.
Has anyone else got a question? Who has got the next question? Anyone else? Anyone else? Anthony, you got another one?
No, I'm just writing. I'm just going through all my lists again because I'm going to be more forward. I'm just going to be like, instead of going round the bushes, round the houses, like Karen said, especially when you've got good relationships, ask for the support. You've probably helped them out at some point during their lifetime as well. So what's the worst that they say is no, thank you. But you can always ask, well, if it's not for you, do you know anybody? So
let me say
I like it. Thank you, Karen. Yeah, absolutely.
You're welcome. I was getting a pedicure one day, and the lady heard me talking on the phone, and when I hung up, she says, why have you never asked me to join? And I didn't have an answer for it. And she said to me, you have supported me for 10 years. Why can't I support you? I said, well, you're absolutely right. I said, do you have your card? She said, and she went to the back and got her card, and I enrolled her that day because I assumed that she would not join me. And she did. She said, you've never asked me. And she knew I was in the wine business. And guess what? She's not a wine drinker.
Wow.
But because I've been doing business with her for 10 years, she said, I'm here to support you now. So again, I can't say it enough. Don't assume that people won't join you. Don't do that. Because everyone that I assumed that wouldn't do it has done it for me. You cannot make up their minds for them. And that's what I was doing. I made that mistake. So can you imagine where I would have been if I had done this as soon as I had joined in January of 2017?
That's incredible. Anthony, I just want to know why you just sent me a text message saying, "Can I ask you a question? Do you drink wine?" You know I do, and you know I'm in the business already, so I don't know why you've done that.
He's practicing. Anthony's practicing.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask everybody now. That's it. Karen's given me the slap up the butt that I needed. Everyone,
you know what, guys? We actually, I don't know why we aren't doing it. We actually have a product that is A, classy, B, people drink, C, it's a good product, as in the wines are amazing. I have non-wine drinking friends who are my customers, who signed up as my customers in June when we started, when we officially launched, who today are still my wine customers, because they were like, my friend rang me, she got her wine order, she drank her 3 bottles within 72 hours. She's like, oh my God, she goes, I hate wine, but this wine is absolutely delicious. We have a product, it's classy, it's sexy, it's an adult beverage. We've got everything to be proud of. And we are, especially for you guys, it's not too long now until you start receiving your DC wines. You're going to watch your whole business change when you get it out there and people are trying. And we all, even I have to start doing wine social, because there's no point talking about it if people aren't trying it. I just seem to run out of the 6 bottles every month.
Yeah, I mean, our conversations will change like massively as of the 15th of October next month, because it's a case of who would like to be one of the first people in the country to try exclusive wine from my wine club. The conversation shifts massively. So it will be a case of going back to every single person that we've spoken to previously and then talking to them about it, because, I can't wait until it comes. And Kevin messaged me last night and said, they're on their way, they're nearly here, and it's time to get bottled and whatever else. And I should be, hopefully catching up with him later on tonight as well to talk to him about a few other things. But, Karen, I just want to say a massive, massive thank you for not only agreeing to come on the call, but for sharing your story. And
my pleasure.
Did someone say my name? No?
Let me say this to you, and some of my customers, and I said, would you just try it one time? Would you just try it one time? And they said, okay. But then after they got it and maybe opened a bottle, they said, I think I'm going to keep this going, because this is going to make a great Christmas gift. I've got some weddings that's coming up. I can always give a bottle of wine. So you can always plant that seed in their head. A bottle of wine makes an excellent gift. Go right there in your back office or your den and pull out a bottle of wine and just gift it to them.
Yeah, especially with Christmas 95 days away now. So again, perfect opportunity. But, again, thank you so much for sharing your story. I mean, I think since we started doing these regular team training calls on a Thursday, I'm sure we started them in March. And we've had some unbelievable speakers in this group. Most of them are on actually the call tonight. We've had top leaders within direct sellers join us. We've had the majority of the corporate field join us, and we've had leaders in other industries that are making 5, 6, and 7 figures within their particular companies. But in my opinion, that was one of the best ones we've done. And I say that because your story is so powerful, Karen. As I said, not only do you live in a non-shipping wine state, not only do you not drink wine, not only did you have your upline quit on you, and you was on the verge of, dropping out and quitting on yourself, and, whether or not you kind of like left the industry completely, or you went and found another company and, you wouldn't be sure whether that company was for you, and you kind of went through the same transition on and on and on and on and on. But you kind of said to yourself, I've invested money into this. Like, I've invested $500 into my business, and I've given up my time to be involved in this business, and you've gone out and you've done the business. You know, like Anne talks about it so much now, about hosting a social and how to keep it simple. And you're not a prime example. Like, you are the example of how we can go out and get customers into our business. You know, so no one can ever turn around and say, A, they've spoken to everyone and the business is not working for them, or B, no one's interested. Like, that's complete crap. Like, I'm sorry, but that is complete crap. We've got something here that the majority of people in this country enjoy drinking, and that's just not on a Friday, Saturday or Sunday. That is every day of the week. We've got a fantastic compensation plan now that now enables us to actually get paid for getting customers in.
Correct.
So, you know, let's say that Karen got all of her 130 customers in once the VIP program sorted out. You know, go onto your calculator and do 130 times $20. Healthy business you've got right there from customers. So, you know, again, thank you so much for tonight. That really was like an incredible call, and I'm so glad that we recorded it like we always do. I'm going to get it into our group, and I'm also going to get it into the We Will Win group tonight, because I think there's a lot of people in there that would, you know, need to see this and need to listen to this. Next week, we was meant to have Trey Barrett on, but I spoke to Trey tonight. He's actually moving into his new house next week, and he's not going to have Wi-Fi until the Friday. So we've moved things around. We've got a guy called MJ Durkin in that Denny's managed to get on. I don't know too much about him myself, but he's going to be joining us next Thursday. And then from October, we're going to be changing things around. And November, I think we're going to be changing things again. But from October, we're going to have our team training calls on a Monday, and we're going to have our opportunity calls on a Thursday, with our accountability stroke goal setting group on a Thursday after that as well. So first one up in October will be Trey, then we've got Greg Hassett, then we've got Patrick Powers, Claire Wilkinson and Liz Clark. So that is the month of October sorted out. November, we're playing around with a few ideas. I think what we're going to do potentially is we're going to cut the team training calls down to 2 a month. We're going to go every other week, because what we don't want is people that could use this time to prospect and to be in an event, or, you know, phone calls, meetings or whatever else, and feel that they have to be on a call. So we're going to be going every other week. I'm hoping, she said that she's definitely going to be doing it. I just need to confirm a date, but Tiffany Mallow is going to be on with us in November, the keynote speaker from New Orleans. She said that she's, you know, more than happy to join us, so I'm looking forward to that one already. But then, as I said, moving forward from November, we'll go every other week. So we've got the opportunity call on Monday. That will be the last, how's my maths? 21, 22. That will be the last Monday opportunity call. After that, it's going to go to Thursday. So let's get busy. Let's pack the call out. And as I said, we're so close to getting exclusive wines now. So we've not started. You know, forget about what's gone on today, or forget about what went on last night via email or live or message or phone call or whatever. We've not started yet. Like, as far as I'm concerned, we're pre-day one. I know we launched last August, and I know we started shipping wine on the 5th of September. But for me, I got told that we're getting involved with an exclusive premium wine club. Well, as of the 15th of October, I can say I am involved in an exclusive premium wine club. So it's there for the taking. You know, it's there for the taking. It's wide open. We know that wine's not going to stop getting made anywhere in the world. We know that Kevin and Anne aren't going anywhere. We've got a fantastic opportunity here, like a life-changing opportunity here. And I know I keep talking about this. Read this book. Honestly, to God, the best book I've read this year, closely followed by the Beano. But, you know, we've got something big happening, so we just need to get busy. We need to do what we need to do. Kevin's just messaged me, so I'm going to kind of like message him back and see what he's saying. Karen, thank you again so much for tonight. Absolutely
my pleasure.
And congratulations on your success. Guys, have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you on Monday night's call. Cheers, guys. Good night.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.